give them a little heads up of what's going on. Hey there, friends. Good to see everyone today. We are having, it's not, I don't know if it's technical issues, but we're not able to, me and the guests are not able to get on the same track together, which is lame, because this should definitely be easy to do. It's like the easiest part of the whole thing. So we're trying to get this situated here. So bear with me as we try a different way to make this happen. And we'll be talking with you here momentarily for sure, but I didn't want to just keep the countdown at 0 and have you guys going, well, where's lead? Okay. Last thing is this. Oh, no, last thing is this. So we're trying a different way of doing it this time. Okay. It didn't let me set an ID for a private room though, which is weird. Well, see if you can see it anyway, I guess. Okay. So let's try the you said you had your fastest lap saved, right? Okay, my friends, good to see everyone today. Sorry for the delay. We're just having a rather unusual circumstance here. Not being able to see each other's lobbies. We tried him trying to get mine and then me trying to find his. Neither way worked. It's kind of baffling right now. But we do have a little bit of a backup plan here, which is we're just going to be able to look at the replay here at least to start, and then we'll circle back to trying to get that other element and get back on track together. So we'll see how that goes, see if everything aligns for us. But you check regions, yeah, that could be it. But let's say hi to everybody, and we'll get going here. So Deep, you're in P1. Good to see you, Deep. BL, good to see you as well. And SD, awesome to see you. JD, good to see you. Your evening. And Blankenship, great to see you as well. Appreciate everyone coming in and saying hi. And now we get to say hi to our good friend here. you've seen him in chat before, and we're happy to have him to be a part of Learn with Led today. Really, it's just me. How you doing? It's just me. It's good to see you, man.
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Oh, great, great. So, while we've had a little bit of a shake-up this morning, and it's not a typical Learn with Led feel quite yet, we're we're trying to plug along here. So, um, it's great. You reached out to do one of these sessions a couple months ago, I think, and tell us a little bit about how you found the channel.
How I find the channel? It just popped up on the feed one day.
Yeah,
That's about it, and I quite enjoyed watching it, so I stuck around for a bit.
And I think the first thing you found was a Learn with Led, correct? You that's what popped up for you.
That was part of the initial stream I was watching, yes.
Right, right. Okay, very cool. And let's go into your background with the game and such. So you've been playing GT7 how long now?
Since it was published, I think that was 22, 23. Can't remember, to be honest. It's a while now.
Yes.
I think I've got about 700 and something hours in 800 hours.
That's not bad. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's for sure. When you started playing, did you start with controller? Did you start with wheel? Tell us about how you launched into the game like that.
I've always been on wheel. I've been on a wheel since the early 2000s when I had a G25 and a PC, and I've worked my way up to the wheel I'm on now.
Okay. And what do you have now?
The wheel I have now is a Logitech G Pro with the Pro pedals and the clicky shifter.
The clicky
which
shifter.
It's very loud, yeah.
Yes. And you don't race on a flat screen, correct? You're in VR.
Yes, I always race on VR in GT7 anyway.
Right.
I enjoy more of the VR games than the other games.
Got it.
It also means, weirdly enough, that it's easier to play games in bed. Just stick the headset on.
Just stick the headset. It's the easiest. It's so convenient. Chaos Druid, good to see you, friend. Appreciate you coming in. So we're just getting stuff started here with our friend. Really, it's just me, and what's fun about this is we do have fellow streamers on from time to time, and so folks that are used to being on the camera and doing all that, but now and again we get to have somebody who's been in chat, who we've talked to for a while, and we've seen the name, but now we get to hear from you, and that's a really cool aspect about doing one of these Learn with Leds, because otherwise, it's fun to chat in chat, but I don't know, to me, it's a little bit more fun to do it this way. That's kind of my feeling.
I couldn't be more opposite regards doing YouTube channels and things. It's not me.
Right. JD, who is from Australia, he's asking, which part of the UK are you from?
I live about 3 miles from Castle Donington, Donington Racecourse.
Oh, very cool. That's very close to that course.
So the middle.
Okay. Very fun. Quinkin, good to see you. Appreciate you hopping in, bud. Saying hi. That means a lot. Okay, so one of the things that when we, for those who don't know, we always do a sound check in the week before, leading up to the session. And one of the things we can do with that is, we do get the levels and all that good, but we also talk about what the session's going to be like. And JD is saying, I am an ex-Warrantonian, he says. Warrantonian in chat. So we get to we talk about things, and challenges and such, and you were explaining to me your unique set of challenges that you deal with on a regular basis there. It's just me. So why don't you tell the friends a little bit about some of the things that you overcome in order to play this game, and I'm sure to do a lot of other things as well.
Right, so I became very ill in 2017, spent quite a few months in hospital, and ended up going back in 2018, 2 major surgeries. But unfortunately, I never really recovered. So I've ended up being in a wheelchair and having lots of other difficulties. I can't think of one of them being thinking of words. Exertion intolerance. So
Yes.
if I do something that's exerts, even brushing my hair, then my body doesn't recover like normal people's. It takes an age. So what I've had to do to try and combat that is I initially got the Pro pedals, because you can adjust the amount. You have to press the brake pedal so it's right down at the very minimum, so that I can push it. But it also means that I can't really modulate as you would normally. And then I got the wheel, because it's got the paddles, the brake and the accelerator paddles on. So when my legs are tired, I can use my hands, although I'm pretty useless at it. I always use the accelerator if I'm on that long track, I can't remember what it's called, or on places like the Nordschleife straight. I can't keep my foot down for the entirety of the straight. Now I have to use the hand accelerator.
Right, and that, I mean, that's stuff most of us aren't having to deal with. And so it's pretty remarkable that that you're making it happen anyway, and I think that's pretty amazing, honestly.
I just hope I can last out the whole of this stream.
Right. Well, and that's, we can certainly accommodate and such. Real quick, want to say hi to let's see, it's Riddle's Cave. Good to see you, Cave. And then I think I saw another new name. Did I see another new name? Berube GT. Yeah, good to see you guys. Appreciate you hopping in. He's ready to be taught. All right, you got it. Here we go. Yeah, and like BL there says, very inspiring. Yeah, and that, I mean, that's just this game, which, technically doesn't have to be done, but there's a lot of things in life that do have to be done. So
you have to find ways around. Like I said, I've got the headset. I can wear it in bed when I'm bedridden, when I can't actually get up.
Right. Yeah, and it's amazing. And so, when it comes to a coaching session like this, that does bring up, it does provide some interesting challenges as far as, what your capabilities are and what you can execute and what maybe sometimes you can't execute. And so that'll be an interesting dynamic to this time together that we're going to have. So if you're just joining us, we did have some difficulties. Right now we're not in the same lobby like we normally start. So what we're going to do is we're going to start right now. We're actually doing a share screen, and It's Just Me is watching right now. So we're going to watch his replay here in a moment, and we're going to check that out here and basically just look at the lap. So I think we'll go ahead and do that. So are you ready to scrutinize your own driving here?
Yeah, I'm already hiding behind myself.
Okay, very good. All right, let's take a look here. And let's get all the information up.
Oh, I can't believe I've made a car with a livery especially for this stream, but I saved it until the stream, and you're not going to see it.
Oh, well, we'll see if we can't get the lobby situation sorted out here in a little bit. But for now, we'll just check this out, and we'll take a look. So we're in the same car. You're in the same car that I used when I did it. Yeah. All right, here we go. Okay, good braking point there. I like it. Okay, interesting. There's a slight turn in, maybe a little bit before necessary, but I kind of get it because this is one of the scariest parts of the whole track. To be fair, it's kind of nuts. But pretty good. You got your left tires on the over the white, which is really imperative. Okay, and a good line coming here as well. It's really nice, actually. Okay. Yep. So on under the tunnel there, not quite as aggressive, but the line is nice, and you were very stable on exit. So, but there's probably even in that tunnel right there, there might be 2 or 3 tenths in what we're seeing there. Okay. Yep. Just past the 200. We're on the brakes. Yeah, we're gonna end up wide though. And here's where third gear and even second gear would help a lot.
It's coming.
Oh, it's coming.
Should be.
Now you stay in fourth the whole time, so
Weird.
yeah, it's fourth the whole time, so let's look at that again.
That's not usual. I don't know why.
Okay, that's fine.
I stuck with that.
Well, the other thing too is you're in fifth, entering the braking zone, and you definitely could rev fourth out and not have to go to fifth. I'm pretty sure. Let me make sure. The other thing too is this vehicle needs to be revved out to the sky. So let's look at that acceleration one more time. Yep, so you shifted at 79. It wants to be shifted almost at 80 or almost 90 there. This one, you're about to shift at 97. You need to actually shift it at about 107, which is crazy. But it is a nuance to this vehicle where it'll blink at you, but the rev limiter is way beyond when it starts to blink blue at you. So it's there's a comfort level in shifting when you're shifting, but we also aren't getting the most that the car will provide for us. So just a quick note about handling this particular car. Very quick, a couple things. Chris Wood, thank you for gifting the 5 memberships. You are amazing. Everyone throw up a stud emoji for Chris Wood. Appreciate you, friend. Means a ton. And then Barub GT, he had a question for you as well, Just Me. He says, has Just Me tried going back to a controller?
I can use a controller. I can pretty much match my times, but it's not the same when you've got VR and the steering wheel. It's more of the experience than.
Right. No, that makes sense, for sure. And that's kind of what I thought that may be what you said. I have a feeling that once you've done VR and you've gotten used to that initial phase, whatever it might take for someone, a week or 2 to get used to it.
I was straight in. Never bothered me at all.
It never bothered you. Wow. Well, I would feel like it'd be hard to go back to something as dull as it's seemingly dull as using a controller. So
just as an aside, I'm on a PS5 Pro, so the graphics are quite a bit better than
I've heard
standard.
I've heard that that's better with the VR as well, right? So yeah, that's good. Oh, we need to be switching screens here. There we go. My fault, friends. Okay. So yeah, let's look at going here. So it's blinking at you here. at 116, and it can go all the way to, I think, 128 before you need to shift. Okay. So maybe fifth is proper actually, based off of what I'm seeing the mile per hour. Yeah, so that's my mistake. But let's talk about this entrance. So I know with the downshift regulation that the game has employed, it can be a little different when downshifting. How have you found that regulation? Is that impacting you a lot or not quite so much?
No, I thought it was cheating to keep banging down the gears, so I've never done it.
Understood. Okay.
I've always treated it like a normal car as much as I could.
Understood. Yeah, I love that. That's great. Even with that, and you don't need to spam the gears to do this, but when downshifting, you do want to be as close to the high rev range as you possibly can to help gain you that engine braking that's that's taking place. So when you're on the brakes here, right about here, you need to be down to fourth by this point. And then by this point, by this point you need to be third. And third will help suck you into the to the apex right here. And you
I don't know why I've stuck to fourth. I really don't.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's okay. It's all right. So this compromises your entrance for the next one because we really want to be tight to the left in order to set up for the right-hander, and the right-hander is one of the hardest. It's hardest to keep the car coming up here. Yep. So as we thought, it narrows your entrance for this one. So this ends up being a struggle, and you're gonna have to wait to be on the throttle fully. Yep, still waiting. Now you're on it. So that little sector right there, that honestly is close to 7/8 in that little spot. Okay, and then what I would consider the trickiest section of the course coming up, at least this direction. Maybe the other direction too, honestly, but
it's funny because I haven't watched this back, so I've got no idea what's coming.
right. Well, yeah, right, exactly. Okay, good. Braking just now at the 200. Good. That's really good braking there. Let's look at that. Let's look at that brake modulation one more time. 10 seconds takes us way too far back here, but yep, so just on the brakes, and this is great. You don't want to push this brake point any farther back, really. It doesn't, you don't gain anything by braking late. And so I really like this braking point. Many of you might not be able to see it, but he is I can see just a little sliver of red down there. And then full braking, beginning to turn in. Now we begin to trail brake, and we're hanging out around 50 and down to 20, 25. And look at where you end up. That's just gorgeous. And that's really key. So for this, and for everyone watching too, for this sector, this makes or breaks the next 1, 2, 3 turns. Getting this right enables you to get the rest of it right. But if you get this wrong, you really can't get the rest of it, quote unquote, right? So, let's see. So we get back on. Yeah, I like that. I like that controlled exit. You sacrificed exit speed in order to stay to the right for entering this corner here. So that's really, really cool. All right, we missed this apex a little bit, so it's a little bit too late of a turn in on this one. But that's all right. And then, okay. So so because of that, we couldn't carry as much speed through here. So as a contrast, by the time I get to the braking point, it's just me. I'm over 80 miles per hour.
Yep.
Let's look at that one more time.
I struggle on that corner because there isn't a wall for me to guide
To hit?
me
Oh,
where I go to. So with it being gravel, I tend to always cut short of it.
I see. Yeah.
On the opposite side, on the exit of the corner on the left.
Gotcha.
I need a wall there.
I understand. I like how early you are on the throttle, though. So, by contrast, if you come through there a little bit faster, which can be done, you end up about a car width or more wider to the left because your momentum is just carrying you out there. And it's a little scary because you can push it too hard and then you end up in the gravel. But just letting you know, you have that distance there. You have that range where you can probably be 5 miles per hour faster here and still be fine. Okay. A little bit early. It's a little bit early for braking, actually. I think it could be a little bit closer.
This is my nemesis corner. This is.
Is it really? Okay. Let's see how we enter. Yep. So we narrowed that too much. Let's look at that again. Okay, yeah, you're on the brake before the 200. That's actually probably part of the issue. It's just me. Is we're actually starting to brake too soon, and what is making that take place then is it feels like you need to turn in earlier, and you actually don't. So a later brake actually enables you to turn in later and carry that momentum all the way around. So
it's the point, because it's a long corner, it's the point at which you start accelerating that I can't seem to get in my head.
Okay.
So I'm aiming for that, and because it's not gelling, I'm struggling.
Yep. So let me demonstrate a little bit right here. So at this part of the corner, you actually want to be one car width over to the right still. You follow me there?
Yep.
Yep. So what ends up happening here is you end up narrowing your entrance too much. And by the time you get to the acceleration point, which should be right here, you're still braking. And that wider entrance would put your car about a half a car width now over to the right, but you would be turned and you'd be pointed more towards your exit at this juncture right here. That makes sense?
Yep.
Okay. So, but because you have a narrow entrance, you're still braking, still braking, still braking. Now you're on the throttle. You're on the throttle probably 20 to 30 meters later than you could be if you had a wider entrance there. Okay?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Good. On the brakes before the 200. I like it. Good. It's a little, maybe just a tad wide because you have, you're in the marbles a little bit there. But really solid, honestly. Really solid. Okay, what I'd like to do next, usually I do this later, but because of the circumstances that we're in, I'd like to go ahead and watch my replay now, okay? We're going to watch mine together with you. We'll just note some of those differences, okay? Pretty sure I saved it. If I didn't, then so be it. But
This is the same replay that you use for the
this is my best
track
lap.
guide.
Yes, that's exactly right. Same as the track guide. Okay, but first of all, let's look at the gearing. So I keep 6 through here. Just on the brakes at the 300. And you see how when I'm downshifting there, each downshift you hear the rev range be quite high, right? So I'm getting that extra engine braking power through this section by doing it that way. Make sense?
Yep.
If you and now if you do it too early, the game will negate it, which honestly I think is fine. I did find this week that the differences that I was experiencing, rarely was I downshifting too soon compared to that first update, which was like, what? This is really different. So then there's that, and then you're going to notice in multiple sections as well with gearing that I'm down to first gear in some places as well where you maintain second. But I will say you compensated the lack of first gear in some of those places with really good braking. And so I can't be too mad at it. But you might find that being a little bit more aggressive with the downshifts could really allow you to brake a little bit later and allow you to suck to the apex. So if you look at me right here, you see, I mean, you crossed over the white line, but I'm actually all the way over onto the concrete portion. So I'm actually maybe a quarter of a car width closer to the left. And then first to really suck the car in, and then back up to second. And we were on the throttle at about the same time, but I'm actually carrying more speed. So the main difference on this part right here is when you enter the tunnel, you're actually about a car width over to the right. Compared to where I'm at, my momentum has carried me all the way to the left here. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Then I'm going to use first gear again I'm going to make this more of a double apex, whereas you made it more of a late apex, which both can be fine, but with your late apex, you were actually had to wait to get on the throttle a little bit longer than me. So I'm on the throttle now. I'm not full yet, but I'm working my way towards full. You really couldn't get on the throttle till about this part right here. So that's a difference there. All right, this will probably be the most difference, but let's look at the acceleration there and the gearing there as well. The trouble with this car is it has, I think, negative torque. It really has no torque whatsoever. So that's why the revs have to be kept so high. So you see I'm at 104 shifting here, whereas you shifted at like 97, I think. And then, yeah, 127, whereas you shifted in the 1-teens. Somewhere in the 1-teens.
Yep, 118. I think.
Okay. Now, another thing about this entrance is I like, now, not everyone's doing this, but I like this to get wider, like you see here. I'm moving the car over to the right to prepare for this left-hander. And I actually am using second gear to help tighten me to the apex like that. Now, you said normally you're in third, right? The replay that we watched.
I literally do fourth, third, second. So
okay, you do all the way down.
It's a lot slower than your. So I'll be in second here, but going through the gears, there are bigger steps between. There are bigger gaps in between.
Yep, I understand.
It's my lazy style.
Okay.
If you like.
Yep. So for this part right here then, because we got a tighter entrance, it sets us up better for the other one, the right-hander. And then I actually use a little bit of first here to get the car rotated and tightened. And then I'm right back up to second real quick. But this one, you know, if you're really pushing for time, this is the turn that will kind of eliminate you, because the back end will want to come out. So I'm on full throttle, but I was on full throttle just a little bit ago. You weren't on full throttle till about here. And that's showing, you know, those different lines, how that works there. Steven's seeing stuff. He's slowing down too much there. Okay, very cool. Okay, same braking point. I use first to get there, but you, with second, you did fine. So I don't, honestly, sometimes me gearing down more is just to compensate for bad braking, if I'm being completely honest. So, so that's that. Yep, you kept it a little bit tighter to the right, which I think is good. You may have lost just a little bit of time because you were maybe a little bit later on the gas. And I think, if I remember right, I think you were in third a lot earlier, which is actually just slowing the acceleration of the car down. All right, so yeah. I think you were 80, like low 80s at this part right here. Yeah. Yeah, so, and that comes, that part of that is the gearing from the previous turn being to third too soon. It's just not going to pull out of it. The car won't do it. And second is being on the throttle a little bit sooner is just allowing me to get way up higher in the mile per hour range. On the brakes down to second, shift the weight of the car really fast. Not even full braking, just a quick dab and then trail braking towards the apex. And then mashing the throttle at 76. And you'll see, you know, we were talking about the car width and all of that. So you'll see that my momentum carries me out here. And I got to bring it back. Okay. And so, yeah, so let's look at this one, because we talked about this a bit. So this is where you're braking, right here. This is where I'm braking. Almost a full 100 meters, or, well, we're in the US, so probably 100 feet later. Okay, so I think it starts here with this corner, is actually braking later than you are. I think it's going to make a huge difference.
Yeah.
Braking later now allows me to take the car deeper. First gear to get the car rotated. And I'm flirting with being on the throttle now. I can't do it yet, but I want to. Now we go. Okay, and you see how I have the car pointed. At this part right here, when we were watching your replay, your car is pointed to that rock over on the right there, on the right side of the guardrail. So that's a really big difference.
I've hit that rock a few times.
You're real familiar with that rock, huh? Once again, the gearing, you're letting it scream at you. It's 127, 128. I shift to fifth. Okay, braking at, I'm probably braking just a little bit later than you, just barely. And I double apex it instead of late apexing like you did. But, okay.
That was my fear, that I wasn't braking hard enough. Yeah,
I think it's fine. So your lap is a very, you know, if we take the part after the bridge, if we take the mistake in gearing there, and you actually, you know, do get that entrance better to set up for the right-hander better. I think that, you know, this is it's probably more like a 149.5 for you. So, you know, it's still I see your pace and your approach. It's a very repeatable thing for you, is probably what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So we probably need to figure out how we just need to push the car a little bit more and push the limits of the car a little bit without really pushing your limits even. You know, it's we'll see how that goes. So let's give this a try now. Let's see if we can, if the GT7 gods are in our favor. And I'm gonna try and set a lobby up again. That's the wrong thing. I'm so used to clicking on sport. Multiplayer, there we go. Are you still doing the share screen? Are you still viewing the share screen? It's just me?
Yes.
Okay, do you see this part right here? The region?
Yes.
Okay. You might have it on same region. Maybe this time try all.
Yep.
But let me create this first. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Load.
I did think I'd set up an American account, but I was wrong. I just set the language.
Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. I think I got all that right. Creating the room. You can exit the share screen now to see if it shows up for you. Hopefully.
I'm wondering how, to be honest.
Oh, to get out of the share screen?
Yeah.
Hit O a bunch of times.
Right. Same region, yeah. Makes sense. I think we're in.
Aha! All right. Fantastic.
What a silly little thing.
All right. So we did things a little bit, you know, in a different order, but that's okay. You know, we've been able to talk about some of the corners and such. So let's go ahead and get queued in here. Oops, I need to change one setting. My fault. I left that group 4. All right, here we go. Steven Sills, good to see you, friend. All right, racing softs. There we go. Now we'll get to see your livery, right?
Hmm.
There she is. Oh, thank you for subbing up there, Playmaker. Appreciate you, friend. We're going to put up a sub emoji, huh? All right, let's get on track together here. So what we're going to do here to start is I'm just going to be your ghost for a little bit. And we'll just focus on those lines, okay? And for you, you we'll focus a little bit on those gearing, the gearings, different gear changes, what you were doing a little bit there. And we'll only go like 80% speed here to start. What brake balance have you been using?
Standard.
0? Okay.
You whipped it round then. I saw the car twitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, so when you have two turns back to back like that, you have to get the weight transferred quicker. And there's really no, you don't have time. Smooth is fast, yeah, but when that's for like a one turn, one long sweeping turn, for example. But when you're going right and you need to immediately start to go left or vice versa, then you don't have time to wait for that weight to be transferred. Down this full speed. Yay! Hey Briggs, good to see you, friend.
I can get this 9 times out of 10, but not today.
Oh, I'm watching you and I'm crashing. All right. Serve the penalty for your crimes. It's just me. A little late.
Did you come over all you wanted to then, to the apex? Was that as far as you wanted to come over?
I probably would have been one a little tighter than that, to be honest. But it is a hard corner to try and really nail. Second. Hey, Socially, good to see you, friend. And Neon, good to see you as well. Scariest part right here, it really is.
That's the easy bit. It's the first bit as he follows you into the ground. It's the first right turn that I struggle with in the tunnel.
Yeah, well, part of what might be happening there as well is you need to get that weight transferred pretty quickly there too. So it does require a quick flick of the wrists. Serve my penalty now. My crimes. Alright, so let's try one more lap like this. We'll finish this one, do one more. All right. One more lap like this, and then we'll have you take the lead. Okay.
I've got no tyres at all.
It was scary going down there too for me, honestly.
No, it just feels like the front keeps washing out on me. I don't know. I don't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same as when I was practicing. Definitely 100%.
Right. It does. Tire temps say they're pretty chilly still, actually. Okay. Let's go ahead and have you take the lead. Pushing too hard.
Not used to watching in the mirror. I'm usually at the back.
Okay, I'm with you. Good. Oh, it happens, Barub. It happens for sure.
haven't got a speedo.
That's pretty good. How did
Was
that?
it?
Yeah.
I was so much taking my time then. I was looking for a speedo.
You're looking for what?
Speedometer to see how fast I was going. There isn't one.
Oh,
but
funny.
if there is, I can't see it whilst I'm driving.
Okay. Yeah, for those just joining.
Might be a little thing.
Yeah, for those just joining, it's just Speed drives in VR, so doesn't have the HUD like we do here when we're using flat screens. You were really close. You might have still made it. I don't know. So, I'm gonna see where I go. Yeah, let me take a second and make a notation. That down. You can take the lead once again. Actually, let's get back to the pit because our tires will start to degrade by this point. Let's hop back to the pit and then go back out with you in the lead. Socially says, tried racing in VR for the first time a couple days ago. Made me all kinds of woozy. Not sure if I want to repeat the experience. Yeah, I keep being told by folks who do experience that you have to push through. And that your body adjusts. At least most people do. Burger, thank you for the 30 likes, everyone. Appreciate all of you.
I'm not carrying enough speed there, I can tell.
Yeah, good. How did that feel that time through there?
To me, it's horrible.
Okay.
So nothing like it should be.
All right. Well, that's a lot closer than it should be, honestly. So the feeling might feel bad, but that is you can be a little closer to the apex, but other than that, the entrance is really good.
won't be able to hear my chair creaking now because I'm braking a lot harder.
Okay.
Couldn't keep that up though.
We went back to our narrow entrance there.
Just catching my breath. My legs have...
Yep. Well, if you need to take a break, we can certainly do that. Ooh, nice entrance there. Just got a little bit of a bounce. That looked really good,
I
though.
thought we'd have a look at the scenery whilst we're here.
Honestly,
it's such a shame.
It's really beautiful here, honestly, isn't it?
I don't... Come on, which paddle is it?
So let's take a moment here. We'll do. I'll spectate you in a little bit, but let me bring up the first. I would say most glaring thing so far. So I tend to, when I'm behind you here, I tend to really catch you in the braking zones. And I think that one of the things I'm seeing is there isn't as much time braking in a straight line. So actually, why don't you hop out? Go back to the just the menu for the lobby. You know, back out. You stay in the lobby so you can spectate. But I think I want to demonstrate something for you. Let's see. So for this corner, for instance, let me know when you can see.
Yeah.
Okay, you got it? All right, so you can see correctly? You see me? Okay. For this corner, for example, I catch you in the braking zone, and I think what I'm seeing, and I'll be able to verify this more when I watch your inputs, but I think what I'm seeing is not as much time spent max braking in a straight line. It seems like you have that max braking portion, but then we start to turn earlier. So in this one, for example, I'm braking in a straight line all the way to about here, and then I'm trail braking and turning in, right? Whereas you are about almost a car width narrower than I am on the right. I'm sorry, on the left. And it's not, and you've already, you've begun trail braking earlier. And let's take, I think where it's more glaring is a little bit later on. Let me go over there. Take me a sec to get over there.
Pressure down a couple of clicks. I put it up to see, to make sure that I was modulating a bit better.
Okay. So this one right here. So I think you even mentioned not carrying the speed through, and I think this is what's holding you back a little bit. Is so you begin braking right here at the 200, but then you begin to trail brake early, and then you continue to brake all the way through here, but it's with a narrower entrance, because this braking zone right here especially, I've noticed that I catch you, and actually I've almost hit you a couple times. So compare that to this line where I'm braking, and I'm braking in a straight line all the way to about here after the 100, and now I begin to trail brake off.
Not up to max though. What are you saying, your max braking from the 200 to there?
No, I think I am.
Okay.
Let me double check.
I'm tickling it, in effect.
I think so, yeah.
In my head I am anyway.
All right, let's try it. Yeah. So
I think that's probably why I went wide initially on the first thing, because I haven't been hard braking into the first bit. I've been gradually slowing down to the middle of the road round the corner.
yeah, I think what I'm seeing just from following you is a tendency to not max brake as long as you should be, turning in a little too soon, and that sort of thing. So let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and spectate you now, and let's see your inputs and take a look at all that goodness. Hey there, LG, good to see you, bud. So whenever you're ready. Like 31 given, all right.
Right, so I've turned down the brake force required to 12 kilos, so it's quite low.
It's fine. No, you do what you have to do.
I don't know, I just feel that I've not got as much control.
Yep.
If I'm not got what do you call it? Something to tell me to stop braking, if you like.
Yep, all good on this lap. We're just trying to. Cars have to warm up a little bit anyway.
That was me adjusting my seating position.
Yeah, no problem.
I couldn't see over this dashboard.
Oh, I'm seeing we're looking at the livery right now too. We got lead pencil learner driver training with the guy on the side is great. That's fantastic, man. Yeah, we're getting a great look at the livery now. Beautiful. 2-hour at Deep Forest. Very cool, man. Good stuff, LG. All right, outlap almost complete. Good. I like the gearing. The gearing's situated, it looks like. That time you hit the limiter. It does have a limit eventually. Okay, don't worry about it.
It's the only problem with VR, if you sat crooked in the car,
Yeah,
it's
you're
horrible.
kind of blind, right? Little narrow on that one still.
I'm still
Yep.
waiting to accelerate. I can,
We can go deeper and wider for that corner still. BL loves the livery. Yeah, we pushed it there. I like it. Okay, can you pause it for a
see,
moment?
now I overslowed, so
Yeah, just
I know I did.
sit tight for a second. Okay, so you did exactly what I told you to do, and then you were like, "Now I'm going too slow," right? So what that means, what that tells us right there, it's just me, is we can begin braking later and still make the corner.
Yeah,
You feel me there?
yeah.
Tracking with me? So that's a little window, okay? That's your little window into what could be for that corner. All right, let's keep going. Still ended up narrow as well. Rev it out, let it scream at you. Nice control there.
Oops.
Good.
Went
to 6th gear there. Usually we're in 5th.
Did we?
Yep. And that might have gotten your gearing a little mixed up. Because that was your, up until that point, that was your best first sector. Yeah, now you're waiting. So, yeah, you can spend so much more time max braking, which means you can begin braking later. I see it.
Whoops.
I do that too. Very brave, very nice. Yep, I like it. Yeah, not third. Third's not going to help you there.
Now I'm accelerating to get my speed back up. That was too much, wasn't it?
You dropped down to first gear, which you haven't done before. And I do drop to first to help with rotation, and that actually helped you rotate a whole bunch. So while it wasn't as early as you could have been on the throttle, you were still earlier than you have been. Second, yep. That's a turn right there. Okay, and for this one we just turned in too early. But that entrance, how did that feel going into the left-hander?
That was good, yeah.
Yeah.
That was where I start, it starts feeling easy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I like that mistake, because you actually sensed that you had the car pointed and you gave it a go, and I think think it was the right move. It was good. We kept the foot planted that time. Second, yep, let it tighten, now on the throttle, keep it tight. Okay, that time we got,
Oops, wrong way.
yep, we let off the throttle. We didn't
Yeah,
need
it's
to.
first, I don't know why I was, sorry, third.
Yeah.
Got everything back to front then.
Okay. But once again, another stellar entrance to the left-hander. We could brake later.
Why do I keep doing what's the name?
We need to brake later
I don't know why
still.
I keep pressing the right paddle instead of the left.
Oh, I see.
Changing up, I don't know why.
Got just a little bit of dirt there. That has to be absolutely terrifying in VR.
No. I think you get used to it.
You do? Okay. Good. Keep it to the left. Still.
Keep it to the left. I'm doing it again, aren't I?
Yeah, we're still tightening and turning too early.
Okay.
Good speed through there that time. And on the throttle, yeah. That was nice and aggressive. I liked it. Okay, brake late. Yeah. We can still turn later. Yeah. We can still turn in later.
that corner now you said something about it.
Right.
I'm still, if I'm honest, I'm still contemplating the corner I'm struggling on in my head.
Right.
I just want to get there.
Yep, and that's I kind of like that anyway. It's hard to take in everything, and I mean I could be talking about other corners too, but these are the corners where I see the most glaring points where we need to improve. Those two corners
was
there.
Was that out far enough? Because
no, it was not.
No. I can see marbles, and in my head I'm avoiding them. I'll
okay.
Have to,
I think there we need to be out there with them.
Okay.
And then here. Yep, again too early. That's what's giving you the drama on exit there. To accelerate though. So once you get past the first left turn, then we need to be on the throttle, pointing the car to the left, then braking once again. So why don't we take a little break here as well? I think it's a good plan. Go over a couple things, okay? I'm gonna get out of the share screen here. Not the share screen. I'm gonna stop spectating for a moment. Okay.
Oh yeah, I've come back to the pits.
Okay, good. All right. So what are some takeaways that you're feeling from this so far?
I get the idea. I'm just finding it difficult to put a couple of the corners into practice. The two out that I've continually struggled with.
Okay.
And I don't. It's not clicking at all. I don't know why.
Yep. And that's okay. So we talked about. The reason I'm focusing on these things right here is, as we talked about back on Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever it was that we spoke during the week, I talked about how, as the coach, I need to be able to evaluate what's top priority, and for you and the challenges that you face while racing, what is the easiest things to correct given the things that you are having to overcome when you're racing. So the simplest thing that I can see to correct is braking later, begin braking later, and turning in later also. So why don't you go ahead and spectate me for a bit here. Let me know when you got me, okay?
Yeah, I'm just getting the controller. Yeah.
Okay. So sometimes when you're experiencing the like one of the things that you're experiencing that might be confusing or make you go, you know, you said it's not clicking exactly, is because sometimes when you enter a corner, you have transferred the weight of the car really well, and you're gaining a whole lot of grip on those outer tires, and that's when it feels really good for you, okay? There are times where you really haven't transferred the weight very well, and so those outer tires aren't gripping as good, and that's when you're experiencing inconsistencies, and it sometimes in the middle of it is probably a little confusing as to, well, why isn't it working this time? So I'm at this corner right now because in most recent laps you've been habitually getting the weight transferred really well here, okay? So, and this, you know, what I'm about to explain here as well really goes for everybody, anyone that's watching right now. So let's talk about how the weight transfers in this portion of the track, right? So you're on the brakes through this part. That means all the weight is headed towards the front tires, correct? And then as you begin to turn in, and you've adopted this later turn in, now you're still braking, but you are also turning to the left. So as you trail brake off, if you watch my input there, as you trail brake off, you're maintaining the weight to the outer tires. And that's the benefit of trail braking, is because it helps you maintain the grip, right? So, and that's really what you're doing. So if you are coasting and the center of gravity, the weight of the car is just sort of staying centered, you're not really going to have a very fast time through that corner. Or if you are braking too much, let's say I'm at this point and I'm still braking maximum, well, now the front tires are probably going to lock up, and now I'm sliding, and that's not going to be good. That's not going to be very fast either, right?
Yeah, this car doesn't give you, whereas some cars you can feel them load the front, this car gives you no indication through the wheel that it's doing that at all. It's exactly the same all the time. There is no feeling of weight transfer at all.
Yeah, and you being in VR probably have to judge it more by feel than necessarily the look, huh? I'm guessing, because even if someone uses bumper cam, when you're turning, you can see the camera roll. Same with hood cam or bonnet view, you can see the camera roll as it transfers the weight over. And then of course when I use chase cam, I can see the car do that. So for this corner, you know, you've been getting all the way down to second, and by the time you're here, right? This is why this turn has been so good for you recently. Is by the time you're here, the weight is still loaded on the right side of the car, so that when you transfer from brake to throttle, the weight of the car is maintained on the right side, and there isn't any load on the weight, or sorry, load on the outer tires, then you unload it, then you load it again. There's one way to really guarantee that you're going to be consistently slow, and that's when you are loading and unloading the tires back and forth in one corner. You know, obviously if there's multiple corners, then that's how it has to be. So you've been doing this turn really well in that regard. but we have not been able to translate it to this corner yet. Coming up, okay? So remember how you told me when you were following me, you saw the car flick? Like
Yep.
it was, so that's that weight transfer, right? So when you're on the throttle through this part, even right here, the right side of the car still has the weight at this point. If you are, as long as you are on at the maximum of what the car can do, the car will still have the weight on the right side. It isn't until you get over here and then flick the car over to the right, now you've transferred the weight. Okay?
Yep.
What's been happening here for you, it's honestly a multitude of things. One thing is when you get on the throttle here, you're actually not always full throttle. Sometimes you are fiddling with it, and I don't know if that is, I'm not, maybe you can tell me, but I don't know if that is
The lack of feeling in the car.
A lack of feeling.
Because it's not dipping in the front and gripping up. I can't tell it's doing that, so I'm kind of guessing, if you like.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so if that's the case, excuse me. If that's the case, then honestly, the way I would tell you to deal with that is err on the side of exceeding the limits rather than staying well within the limits. And I would say, you know, whenever I get a guest on, there are kind of two categories that people fall under. One is the ultra conservative driver or the very aggressive driver. And both are slow, technically, because the over aggressive driver is constantly exceeding the limits of the car, constantly exceeding the limits of the tire grip, right? But the very conservative one is also slow because we're nowhere near the limitations of the car. So the car could go a lot faster through said corner, but we're not even getting that close to that limit, so we're actually pretty slow. So you fall into the category of the conservative one, right? And I think for you to kind of get to the next level, you'll have to experiment with, okay, when do I really, you know, wreck the car? When do I really get past what the car can do? Find that limit and then back it off, kind of the deal. So here's, for this turn right here, I mentioned we're not always on full throttle, and we're turning like right here. And what's happening here then is we actually don't get a weight transfer because we're not at the limit of what the car can do. The weight of the car stays very centered through this whole portion. And yes, you're turning. Yes, you're getting over here. But and right about here, you finally have some weight transferred to the left side of the car. However, because your entrance is narrow like this, you can't actually apply the throttle here, which is where you'd want to be on the throttle. You have to wait because you can't see your exit. And number two, if you were to really push it, you'd lose the back end of the car. So you're having to wait until about here to get on the throttle. And that's just way too late for this sequence. So let me back up.
I would be more worried about the front washing out. Perhaps that's because that's what it always does.
Probably, yeah, and that's also because we haven't transferred the weight of the car over to the side. So let's contrast that then with full throttle through here, right? The weight of the car takes it. The momentum of the car takes you over here, but you can't turn it. I understand it's very tempting to start turning now, but it's too early. It can't be done now. It's not going to work. So we straighten the car, we flick the car, get the weight transferred now firmly to the left side of the car. We did a little bit of minimal braking through that whole portion as we flick it. We're still minimal braking right about here. Okay, so maybe if you look at my input, 25% or less. But the key element here is we never unload the outer tires with the weight. We keep the weight of the car firmly planted on the outer tires. So that now when we apply the throttle, the weight is now transferred from the front to the back and maintains on the outer. So that now as we come through here, two things. We're not going to experience understeer. We may experience some power oversteer if we really get on it too quickly, but that's finding that balance between the two. So that's this corner. Let's talk about the hairpin as I get over there. While I get over there, any questions or thoughts on what we've been talking about there?
No.
All right, so here we just, although we've talked about braking later, we have begun braking later, which is good. But on this corner, we're still well within the limits of the car. Now we are getting the weight transferred pretty well on this part, I would say. It's just we end up turning too early still. So we're on the brakes hard through this part. And then you end up turning right about here, maybe even earlier than that sometimes. When you really need to be, where those marbles are right there, your right tires need to be just at those marbles, basically. So your entrance is doing this, and you are hitting the apex. But again, remember that rock we've been pointing at? There it is. There's the rock. And that's what's been causing you to power oversteer a couple times, because you are in that region of when you want to be on the throttle, but you just can't really get on it yet. So let's contrast that then. Okay. So instead of that, we're braking, yes, but we're gonna max brake a little bit longer and come all the way out here. I'm gonna downshift a second myself, and then I'm gonna be on the throttle here. Do you see where my car is pointed?
Yep.
That makes all the difference in the world for two reasons. One, because of that wider, later turn-in, wider entrance, you are actually carrying more miles per hour through the corner. Number two, you've straightened your exit so that you can actually open the steering as you apply the throttle and make the corner with less drama.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
So it's the start of the fence that you're apexing. So that's I was looking at the rocks, so I don't even want to be looking at the rocks.
Yeah, the rocks are bad. Honestly, the rocks are. If you're pointed to the rocks at the point when you're on the throttle.
The ones on the left, the ones near the yellow bin.
Oh, on that side.
So you're apexing a lot later.
Yeah. Do you utilize the driving markers at all? Or do you have those turned off? You do have those on? So those can be, they're not perfect, but those can definitely be a help. So let's compare this one, for example. Well, first of all, let's look at, it's the suggested turn-in marker, right, as well. So there's your suggested turn-in marker all the way out there. And that is closer to where I'm turning. I'm probably turning a little bit sooner than that. But that's a world of difference between where I'm at and you're basically a car width over to the left from this point. And
I think that's one of the problems with this track, in the fact that on a proper track, a real track, they have curbs, and the curbs can literally direct you to where to be.
They can, yes, that's true. All right, over on the left, then you can see the driving marker, and that really is telling you how late of an apex this should be. Because when you reach that driving marker, your car should be parallel to that, just like this, right? Instead of being more like this. And you're that's actually apexing too soon, basically. Is what that is. So, you know, I realize that, you know, sometimes it can be hard to translate what we're talking about to actually doing it on the track. But I feel as though, you know, these are the elements that probably really need to be the top priority as far as corrections going forward. Any other thoughts or questions?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay. Real quick, I need to say,
I'm still trying to digest what you told me.
Yeah. So let me try. I'm not going to go full speed, but let me demonstrate a little bit. Okay. Just try and have a visual for it. Jade, it's good to see you, friend. Appreciate you coming in. So I want you to focus on how I transfer the weight, basically. Tires are cold right now, but they're in the 30s. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna kill myself. Let me just get out with some 60-degree tires instead of 30-degree tires. Yeah, so let's focus on, I'll try and be as precise as I can with that weight transfer. And we'll focus more on the trouble corners, so we'll focus on this sequence right here. This one. Oh, almost lost it. That was even a little deeper than I necessarily wanted, but it still worked out really well because I was able to get on the throttle very soon. But notice, you know, the main thing is I'm not unloading the outer tires at all. Really, I'm seeking to keep those outer tires loaded with the weight while going through a corner. I'm scared. Try it again. Keep the weight loaded where it needs to be. Hey, Son of a Wicked and Le Mans, good to see you. Merry Christmas to you guys.
I don't know if it's some kind of connection thing, but when I'm watching you, it seems very twitchy, almost as though you're using a controller. And I don't know if that's purposeful or
I think
you're making it do that.
Yeah, I think there is an element of the server. I've noticed that a lot with lobbies, where things are less smooth than they really things appear less smooth than they really appear to be. But so those are the things. Now, my question for you, and you can certainly decline, but did you want to do another 5-6 laps or something like that?
Yeah.
And try to.
I'll go into lazy mode on the bits where I don't need to.
Okay, so we'll focus more on those 2 sectors.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Funnily enough, sometimes when I go to lazy mode is when I start knocking seconds off my time.
Okay. Very nice.
Well, it's not lazy, it's less effort mode. Would be a better description.
Yeah, I'd really like to see you nail those 2 sections, because I want you to feel that, because that's going to need to be a feeling that you go for and try and find again. So I am spectating you. So once you're ready, we'll be good to go. Pretty good there. We didn't get full throttle in between the 2 corners, so that's a little element that we missed there. But the lines look really good.
That's what's the name. That's my build up.
Okay.
Get the line in your head.
Got it. All right, let's try and get the line here. Yep.
No, too early.
It was close. It was close. I will say, just as a thought, and something to keep in mind, when you're going to that hairpin, one of the hairpin that we're working on there, how you take the previous corner is really going to impact that hairpin a lot.
That's the one where the rocks.
Yes, exactly. So how you take the sequence before that. If you take that really fast, I guess what I'm trying to say is take that one the same every time. Take the previous sector the same.
Yep.
Because if you're coming in there in a variety of speeds, that's really not going to help your consistency on the hairpin.
It wasn't for a lack of trying, to be honest. It was a lack of grip.
Okay, got it. Okay, we didn't do second that time. Good. That's
too late then, wasn't it?
Yep, that's too wide. Yeah, that's a little too wide, but you know, we're trying to find the medium here. Okay. Second. Yep, there it is. Look how much first sucked you in like that. It actually got you too close to the apex. The first gear did so much to tighten you to the apex that you actually had to open up so that you didn't hit the rocks. Try and be a little more aggressive here on the second turn, especially. Second gear. Second out, yeah. Okay. You got the for the second turn, the right-hander. You got the weight transfer much nicer that time.
This is my lazy mode.
Good. That was quite a bit better.
Perhaps that's why I keep knocking the second off when I go into not trying, if you like.
Mm-hmm. You just got a 50.2. Which I think is what you have in the actual daily. Watch it. A little early. So first gear is a good idea. Just a little too early to first that time. So you know, that time we ended up coming off the brakes too soon. Needed braking a little bit longer there. That way it'll get you tighter to the apex.
I'm not hammering the brakes. I think that's the biggest difference. I can't see that, but as far as I'm concerned, not braking hard.
Well, you've begun, you know, for that hairpin, you've begun to brake later, which I think is helping a lot. Punch it. Do it. So, a question. Are you meaning to not be full throttle in between the two corners now? Or is that something you're doing by accident?
Don't know I'm doing it.
Okay. Good. I like it.
That was so slow.
It's fast. I guarantee it. Because that wider entrance, you carried about 3 to 5 miles per hour more all the way around that turn. You got on the throttle sooner than you normally do. And you had no drama on exit, no oversteer, no understeer or anything. So yeah, while it may feel slow, I guarantee you it's faster.
Bit of a bumpy ride, that one.
It can happen. After this turn here, left turn, let's get the second. Mash the throttle, do it. Okay. Got a little out of sorts with the gearing that time.
For
it's
how
okay.
long?
For how long full throttle? Half a second to a second probably. Le Mans and BO.
So I'll tell you what I'm totally doing different is I'm driving like I usually do, which is I'll keep my foot on the brake and really creep into the corner, as in I'll gauge the grip and I'll keep the pressure on until I've got to the point at which it's dragged it into the apex.
Yeah, that's exactly what should be happening. Okay, Lamont, see you, bud. Yeah, the penalty messed you up a little bit. Gave you a different entrance to it. Alright, let's do it again here. Yeah, punch it. Good. Gorgeous. That's gorgeous. Go. Second. Punch it. Not bad. That was better.
So that first part of the corner was exactly like I was saying. I do third, second, fourth, third, second at different parts of the corner. So I was kind of going back to
good. Yeah, wait for it, punch it. Magnificent.
How I feel comfortable. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, well, to be fair, it's hard for me to gauge the gearing aspect to it. I haven't been worried about that too much, and honestly, it's because you don't actually keep the gearing very consistent. I think that might be a product of VR. You're not always sure what gear you're in. My main concern is getting the car where it should be on the track to be able to go quickly through the corner as the car can do it. Second, punch it, give me some gas. There we go. Okay,
What's the name?
Good. Yep, you identified it. Yep, turned in a little too early. But I like that full throttle after that. We've been missing that. That time was just a tad bit too narrow. was very slight, but it was enough to make the exit a little bit more dramatic. Good. Yeah, you've been exiting in second there recently. That's definitely better than third. You've been often doing third there.
That's a confidence in the car thing.
I got you.
How I feel it's going to come out the corner.
Okay, understand. Good. Oh, whatever, game. I didn't see it. Punch it. Give it to me. Yes. That's an entrance. Oh, we didn't. Okay, so we didn't whip the car fast enough that time.
Yeah.
So the weight didn't get transferred. That was a little bit narrow. You made the correct adjustment mid-corner, so I'll give you that. Whatever. Go away, game. So, I think this is the case. Let me make sure when you pass the line. Not quite.
It's not the fastest.
No, so you have beat your daily time. You're at a 150 flat.
We've got an 054, I think.
What's that? Yeah.
We've got an 054.
Yeah, it's an 054 is what you have, yep.
Whoa.
And, by the way, the first sector split, you were almost 5/10 up on your time. Can you check your optimal real quick? Where it has the course map right now. Can you check your optimal?
148941.
148? Is it a 48? Wow, okay. What is the best, most efficient way of making credits for an average driver? I think it's still one of the Sardinia races in game that gets you the most credits for the time that you put in. That is. So that optimal then is easy, a full second better than your current best, yeah. You got it, socially. You got it.
Bird put me off that time.
I saw it. Big bird.
That was the shadow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we made some good progress here, friend. I really do.
Just needs tidying up, doesn't it?
A little
Consistent
bit.
and tidying.
Yeah, a little bit. So I have some takeaways for us then. When you're ready, I'm going to stop spectating. Okay. Yeah. So it's, it wasn't ever put all the way together, but I was really, really happy to see some of the improvements there. And I was also really happy to see you being able to identify, oh, that didn't go right here because of this. Oh, I turned in too soon there, and that kind of thing. So that's really good. All right. So, first thing to take away from is this. So it's a simple thing, but I think, you know, it's really, I don't often make this a takeaway, but I think it's important in your case, and that is the gearing for the vehicle. So really make sure you understand exactly the best way to shift the car that you're in, because there's really nuances to it with these vehicles. So you know, if you're following a Ghost, or you watch a replay of a Ghost, you know, pay attention to how they're gearing it. They're probably doing it the best way. They're probably doing it right, and you probably need to emulate that. Because look, the game's hard enough, right? So the last thing you want is to be at a disadvantage because you're gearing in a way that's just not profitable for you. So let's make it as easy as we can on ourselves, is kind of what I'm saying there. So make sure that you've got the gearing down the way it should be. There's always some flexibility, and especially entering a corner, exiting a corner. But as far as acceleration, you know, like the RS01, for example, it has to be revved to the max. If you're in the Viper, you know, you don't want to rev that to the max. You want to be short shifting that, because revving it out will actually slow you down on acceleration. Okay? So learn the car, know the car, and how it should be geared and how it should be changed. That's going to be huge. All right. All right. So
Okay, so stick to your favourites, isn't it?
maybe
Sometimes.
maybe for sure. You know, we all have our cars that we're comfortable with. So you know, it isn't, you know, it isn't until you really get to the top tier lobbies that using the meta car becomes paramount, you know, becomes a necessity. Because if you're, you know, it's just for an example, if you're driving in a B-rated lobby, the benefit that the meta car will give you isn't really going to be that advantageous against that caliber of competition. Mainly because the mistakes that everybody is making in a lobby of that caliber negates the advantages that the meta gives you. So, I mean, you just gotta be fast.
I go with a fun one, the one I'm having the most fun in.
Yeah, sure, exactly. I think that's great. You know, once you get to A plus, a high A and A plus, now it's really important to use the meta. But that would be my opinion there. Okay. So second thing then is make sure your braking point is as late as it should be. So in a couple of spots we saw that maybe your braking point was just a little bit early, but in one spot in particular for the hairpin, it was very much too early, right? So got to make sure that your braking
It was bringing me in too early, wasn't it?
And it was bringing you in too early, yes. Yeah. Because all of a sudden...
I got it in my head it was 200 for some reason.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
But yeah, I get that now.
Yeah. So let's make sure that we do that. And then finally, so it's coupled with the late brake, you know, the brake marker, but make sure that we are turning late enough and turning wide enough. It's especially, you know, we didn't use group 4 today, but if we did use group 4, it would be necessary to do that in group 4 because you got to carry the speed towards the apex because you don't have a whole lot of power to pull out of the corner.
You have a lot more time to think, though.
You do. With the group 3, it's important to have that wide entrance because of the threat of power oversteer, or if you're way too narrow, if you're much too narrow, you get on the power and you're rotating the steering a whole lot, you're experiencing that understeer then, because the power of the rear wheels are pushing you through, but the front tires are saying, nah, we're not turning, sorry, not going to happen today. So so those are my 3 takeaways for you to really hammer on as you practice. I think that's really, I think it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge. Things didn't get picked up in our session like super rapidly, but you did pick them up. It did start to happen, which I'm really thrilled about. It's gonna make a world of difference on your quality of life while you race, but also the overall your times as well. Your times will come down. You'll start to
Got
see.
to get that 148 in there, haven't I? Oh, that was a 0.9, I think.
Yeah, we'll call it a low 0.9. Call it a low 0.9. I mean,
Ow.
You definitely have that in you. I definitely saw it. It can be done. Coupled with all of that, like we talked about the 2 types of drivers, the aggressive and exceeding the limits of the car versus the conservative, always within the limits of the car. So you fall in that conservative side of things. So for you, really, when you're practicing, next week when you start practicing dailies, or you start working on something, a time trial or whatever it is that you end up doing next week that has new tracks, as you're learning a new track, I really feel like when you are practicing, you need to crash more, if I can say it that way. You need to experiment with the limits of what the car can do, because sometimes you are within the limits of the car, and other times you're well within the limits of the car. So it's
recognizing those, isn't it?
Yes,
that I'm
it
struggling
is.
with.
Yeah, I think so. You gotta, and the only way you know that the only way you're really gonna know is when you really try and push and exceed the limits. I don't always tell that to everybody. If I have a guest on that's overly aggressive, I'm not telling them this. I'm telling them, I'm telling them, so you need to start well within the limits of the car and build up. Okay, build up to those limits, rather than trying to put out the blazingly fast, lap every time you're out there. You can't, because you're crashing, you're spinning every time. It's not working for you, right? So for you, German Kiwi, hey there, friend. He says, I'm conservatively aggressive. It's better than aggressively conservative. I guess so. I'm not sure what this means.
I'm consistently slow.
So those are the factors there that I think, with your driving style, in order to get to the next level, you need to really find and exceed the limits that the car can do. So, after that downhill, for example, through the tunnel, over the bridge, in between those tight little corners, the chicane, and then the left-hander under the tunnel, that's a place where you're well within the limits of the car. I didn't really talk about it today, but it is something that I noticed. In between, the first set of corners that we were really working on today, in between the left-hander and the right-hander, you're often well within the limits of the car. And
that's where you're telling me to accelerate fully into it.
Yes.
That bit.
Yes. Yeah, that's part of being well within the limits. Same thing with under the tunnel, in between the tight corners at the top of the map there. You're not normally weren't on the full throttle either, and that's also well within the limits of the car.
Okay.
So, in general, I think we just need a slightly different approach. And yeah, that might require some growing pains. That might include some frustration of, oh, I crashed again. But don't think of a crash as a mistake that you need to be bummed about. Think of a crash or a spin as, okay, guess what? I just found the limit. Now I know where I can be, or at least I should be able to ascertain how close I can get to that limit a little bit better, right? So yeah, any other questions for me? Any thoughts?
I wish I was. I can't think of anything.
That's okay. No, that's fine. It's common. I'm loading the guest with bunches of information, so I totally understand. But I tell you what, it's just me. It was fantastic to have translated you from the chat and the name that we see on chat to actually getting to talk with you and hanging out on track together. We eventually got on track together, right? It took a little bit, but we finally got that sorted, and man, it was a total blast. So much fun being with you today, my friend.
Thank you very much. It's been fun. And I'll say hi to BL while I'm thinking about it.
Oh yes, say hi to BL. She just popped up the 40 burger there. Thank you for the 40 likes, everyone. Yeah, so it's great. It's really great. I think you're going to do fine. I think you'll be able to implement these things. I don't think this is outside the realm of your capabilities. I think this can be done. It's just a matter of you really grabbing a hold of these and putting them into practice now immediately, basically, so you don't lose it. You've been playing the game for a while, so I feel like there's probably a level of comfort with how you drive, and so it's gonna push that comfort zone a little bit. But that's what's going to help get you faster, I think. So it's worth it.
I think I've been more focused on improving more recently than I have in the past.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
I don't know why, but I have.
Yeah. Well, that's probably why you reached out to me, huh? And tried to get to have another set of eyeballs to get on.
Probably because I'd given up. I was fed up of being at the back on the community race, not on your community races, but when I did community races, I'd got nobody to race against, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
We need more people, more lower ranked people to get together as a community rather than these people that run off into the distance. It's
right.
Not much fun for us at the back.
Yes, understood. Yeah, well, let's see if we can't, use those driving indicators as well. They're, again, not perfect, but utilize those for your turn-in points and your apexes. How late or how early the apex should be. They're definitely a good guide. Not perfect, but a good guide to go by.
Yeah, so I find they're invaluable at places like Atlanta where you can't see you can see the yellow thing sticking above the.
Yes. Yeah, above the rise at the top there. Yeah, I like it for the dipper as well. At Bathurst, I like it for the corkscrew at Laguna Seca. Gives you a little indicator of where that apex is. So, well, cool. As a friend of the channel and a guest of Learn with Lead, in mere moments you'll be granted access to the Learn with Lead bumper stickers. I mean, you already did a phenomenal job with your livery. It looks all lead penciled out already, so that's fantastic. It looks great, man.
Probably never use it again. We'll have to change it.
Yeah, but you will get those, get access to those in Discord.
Cool.
If anyone's watching right now and you're wondering about how to get a session yourself, you can reach out to me at leadpencil 2017, which I'm putting in chat right now, or you can reach out to me in Discord at leadpencil82, and we can begin the conversation there. Well, my friend, it was an absolute blast. So much fun being with you. So good talking to you. If anyone watching right now, you missed the beginning of our discussion with It's Just Me, I really recommend you check that out. It's Just Me is overcoming a lot of challenges, and it's really inspiring to me, and I think if you missed it, you'll find it very inspiring and helpful as well. So I encourage you to go check that out at the beginning. Okay, my friend, Well, that's going
Thanks
to,
very much.
yep, I think it's going to be the end now, but I am sure we will see you on a track or a chat very, very soon. Appreciate you,
You
friend.
will.
All right.
Okay,
Okay.
top.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oops. Okay. There we have it. Whew. Okay. Man, that was some fun stuff. That was some work. That was some work. Definitely a lot of dedication on It's Just Me's part to make that happen. Thank you, Blankenship, and thank you, BL. Appreciate that. Yeah. So I will have to end it there. No lobbies today or anything like that. We're gonna have to get ready for the various things that are going on in this afternoon. That's why it's an earlier session today. Had to get the session in earlier so that we have family coming over in just a couple hours. So needed to get this in a little bit earlier. Let's see. Looking ahead, we'll see you guys Monday. We're gonna check out the dailies together. We'll do our Monday thing. I know you love it. You guys keep showing up for it, so you must be liking it. So yeah, we'll be doing that here in a couple days. I think everything else about next week is normal. I mean, we do have the holiday, so I might end up doing I don't know, midweek stream. We'll see what happens. But Monday will be Monday. We've got another Learn with Lead all lined up for Saturday as well, so that'll be good. It's going to be fun stuff. Thank you, Socially. Thank you, Blank. Thank you, Jade. Thank you, Steven. Yep, we're going to do this again Monday. Thank you, everybody who came out to support and cheer It's Just Me on. I think it was a really good time to be together and hang out as a lead pencil family. So it's good stuff. All right. Well, appreciate everyone. Thank you for the support, for chatting, for doing all of the stuff you guys do every day, giving us the likes. You guys rocked it today once again. Thank you so much. I love you all like crazy. Not a thing you can do to change my mind. So stop trying. Just stop. Bye now.